Turns 1 and 2. There we see Trickle. He moves up the racetrack a little bit, and Michael Walter just bumps him a little bit. Around goes Dick. Trickle runs,
Wilson.
Rick Wilson runs in the back of Michael Walter, and I just don't think he saw the 34 car for the smoke.
Yeah, once he hit Waltrip, all that smoke was there, and so then he ran into the car 34, Dick Trickle.
We'll look at it from another angle. Our camera located at the end of the backstretch. Here you can see how Rick Wilson made contact with Michael Waltrip and then also punched Dick Trickle.
You see, we never saw Rick Wilson until he hit Trickle, and that's exactly what he saw. Nothing until boom.
The record number of caution flags in a NASCAR race occurred here, 20. We've had 2 here in the first 32 laps. Here's a look from the bumper cam.
Again, going down the front straightaway, and Dale Jarrett, Sitco forward.
He couldn't see either.
Oh, I should say,
What did I say?
he got punched by Sterling Marlin.
We see Earnhardt spin, and he's backed in the wall, but I don't think there's a lot of damage to the rear of the car. And we see Sterling Marlin come in and just simply back in the front of the car.
Now there is.
Yeah, that's where the damage is as far as that car running again.
Now you can see that Dale just apparently did hit that oil and slid right up to the wall and then down the banking. And Sterling Marlin comes along and boom, right in the right front of the car. And now from Dale Jarrett's bumper cam.
Running right behind Harry Gant, going into the turn. Ooh! Got awfully close
Hey,
there.
oh, it works. I thought maybe we lost it, but it took a hit and continued to work. So the third caution flag is out on Bristol International.
That's what it was. You see the 66 car of Lake Speed out in front, and then Earnhardt, and they're not running nearly as fast as the leaders, and everybody runs in there, jams their, well, now we're about to see it happen going into turn 3. That's where they really jam up. Ricky Rudd gets by on the outside, but Rusty caught down there and bumps Earnhardt, and then also bumps Davey Allison, and then everybody starts bumping behind them.
And I can see where Rick Mast received all of his damage. He ran in the back of Schrader. He's the fella who outside. Here he comes off turn 4, and look, something happened to the right front of the car, and he just goes straight into the wall and right down in the side of Bill Elliott's car.
Yeah, he hit Bill Elliott's car hard on the right front.
Let's go to John Kernan.
Derek has radioed into his crew chief, Buddy Parrott, who's told him that the problem was the throttle hung open on him, hung wide open, and that was part of the problem coming out of the turn, or in the turn, as the throttle hung on him.
Well, he made hard contact on the right side of the car with the 4th turn wall, and then heavy contact with Bill Elliott as he slid across. He got loose in turns 3 and 4.
He's right in front of the. We see him up there. There wasn't anybody around. I didn't see any other car around. So, and Kyle goes in, backs in the fence. There is some pretty good damage to the rear of that mellow yellow Pontiac, the Tom Cruise look-alike.
And here is our latest one.
Somewhere from the middle of the pack, Schrader just comes out of there sideways. It's like he just stood on the gas or someone ran in the back of him. You can't really tell what happened.
Yeah, I would say he got a little bit of help.
We can determine when the tire might have let go on Allen's car.
Well, it started going flat long before this because he backed off, and there we see the smoke coming out from the car when it's went flat, and he goes in the corner and just simply will not turn, and into the wall he goes. And I just got to say, Kawicki is having a hard time catching a break this year. End of the crash, and we can see Michael Waltrip with no place to go runs in the front of the Chad Little car, and Mickey Gibbs is down on the inside. As to what triggered it, I really don't know. Cliff Champion, good news, bad news.
How Darrell spun coming off corner 4.
Comes off turn 4, and Davey Allison runs up, bumps him in the back, and sends Darrell into the spin.
And he just barely missed hitting the end of pit road there, but didn't hit anything as the car slid down to the bottom of turn number 1. Here it is again.
Well, Darrell gets traction coming off the turn, slips up in front of Davey, and Davey was coming on strong out there and just hit him enough to spin him around.
And Ernie Irvin and Dale Jarrett go through the smoke, obstructing their view, but everybody else.
We see him backing in the wall with a left front, and the thing, as you said, just erupts in a huge ball of flame. And that's not too much of a problem until the car starts drifting down and all the flames go back through the cockpit of the car.
Yeah, it had to get hot in there for him, but thank God Sterling got out of the car and is now being taken to the infield care center.
Here it is from another angle. You can see how much flame there was as the car slid down the banking. Let's go now to John Kernan, who's with Mike Beam.
Something happened to the right front because he goes into the wall awfully hard. We see his tire come bouncing across the racetrack. That's Schrader's tire. Here he goes and leaps that pit wall and continues on down, and as someone said, hit the toolbox in Harry Gant's pit.
It did, and then bounced over to the toolbox of Rusty Wallace, and then it just sort of laid itself down.
But apparently nobody was hurt by that tire on pit road, and Ken Schrader has. And there you can see the tire, hitting the right there. It hits Harry Gant's toolbox and then bounds over and hits Rusty Wallace.